Hello and welcome, everyone. It is a rainy Wednesday afternoon, and what am I doing? Sitting in amongst a pile of scraps. What better thing to do on a rainy afternoon, huh? Let me see who is the early birds and here with me this afternoon. Hello, Tracy. Tracy, she was the first one in the chat this morning. Dear daughter Danielle is here. And my new soul brother, Mike, is here. Welcome to you. Welcome, welcome. And Mama Debbie with Quilt Fact is, I don't know why I said Mama Debbie. That's Danielle's thing. It's Sister Debbie to me. It just came out. But welcome, welcome to all of you. And thank you for joining me this afternoon. But yeah, I'm sitting amongst a pile of scraps. I mean, my bin, and this is a big bin and it is stuffed and it's just, the little tiny scraps that you wonder they're too good to get rid of, especially if you work, on scrappy blocks, crumb blocks, that type of thing. You're always saving those because they can be used for that. But I may have a new addiction. So therefore, I decided it was time to tackle this overflowing bin of scraps. And, I might have a few tips and suggestions along the way and how I'm going to organize those. So decided that would be the topic for our It's Tip demo time today. So welcome everyone. Hello, Gladys. It is great to see you also. I have 3 or 4 drawers of scraps. Yeah, I have. Yeah, like I said, this is just one bin of certain scraps that I'm going to tackle today. Many, many more in the cottage that are already in an organized manner, and we will get into those some other day. But hello, Joe with Vintage Style. It is great to see you. Welcome, welcome. But I have already been sitting here getting some things ready, and this is just kind of a pre-sort to get them all sorted out, find out how much I have, and then I will decide the final way that I am going to organize these and put these away. Right now, I'm just temporarily sorting them in these little trays that I have and use quite frequently for things. But that is what I am doing. And because they get really messy and everything in here, and they store a lot better if they're not that way, I've got my little mini iron out and I am pressing what I need to press along the way so that you don't have that extra step later on when you're pulling and you're deciding that you're going to use some of these scraps for something that will already be done. And it may just need a light touch up or something at that time. But so with Debbie is also here. Hello, Carol. Long time no see. Great to see you again. And Debbie says, I'm just listening as I was trying to find my floor. Okay. I think I understand that comment very well. We do all have a problem with that at times, but sometimes we find the floor in a way that we don't intend to either. But so I am just going through these right now, and you will find that there are all kinds of, I mean, this is, a half square triangle. And yes, I will keep that. Now, I can't necessarily sort that by color, but because I also make scrappy postcards, I have a pile over, yeah, no, that's over here, which I found these were left over from when I did Long Time Gone. And those may add some interest on a postcard. So I'm just kind of setting things like that I come across that I think, ooh, that would make a nice accent on a postcard or something like that. I'm setting those just up off to the side because I really don't have a special place for those right now. But I see, I have no idea what those half square triangles are even from. If I don't use them on a postcard, they work really well on crumb blocks also. So that will be saved. And I think I see Christine from Katie Crafts also just popped in. Welcome to you. had a great time in the, and you're all going to wonder what this is. Have a new thing I'm doing that was a suggestion of one of my viewers, one of the great stitchers that's also in the Facebook group. And when I was doing the charity marathon, um, she came up with the idea that, it was a great way to work on works in progress, WIPs, thus my little puppy's name. But she said that we needed to have a group called she called it the Whimpersnappers. I did change it to say Whippersnappers, but where we all, get together and we kind of marathon work on our WIPs. And so a few of us that I plopped in the Facebook group, the information on that, we got together and we worked on WIPs yesterday and for quite a long time and got quite a bit done. It was really, really enjoyable and a great way to get some of those WIPs worked on, not maybe completed, but a lot done on them. And that was so much fun visiting and working at the same time. And so now we have the club Whippersnappers. And the plan is to meet once a month. And so check that out. You will find the information for that in the Facebook group. And the link for that is always in the description box after the live is over. But hey, some of these, it's nice. You pick up some of these and they're already kind of pre-sorted by how they got dumped into the bin there. But Christine says, we chatted for hours. Was so much fun. Yes, it was. And the good part of it was we did very well at being able to chat and work at the same time. Boy, every once in a while you find things like this. It's like, where is it going to end? The mystery. How long is this piece in here? And okay, but see, look, now that's definitely don't want to get rid of that. It is a 2-inch strip, which there's a lot of red. Okay, I see it's not 2 inches all the way through it, but yeah, I'm not going to try and press that with my little iron. I'm going to set that off with these that are to have something done with later. Now, why this got thrown in there, who knows? That goes in the trash can down below. And I see that Katie, the Greenland Quilter, is also with us this afternoon. Welcome to you. Welcome, welcome. I am just showing how I deal with a little bit of, and it's good to have, if you have room to have a measuring mat, a cutting mat on your table, because I will keep, I know these look small, but if it's 1.5 inches, I will keep it because I can use that width, and especially in what I don't want to say too much about, but a newfound addiction I found when that squirrel happened to get me to follow him in that hole in that tree. Spent a little while in that hole in that tree. You guys didn't send enough peanuts fast enough to pay the bounty, to get me out. So I may have gotten in a little bit of trouble down that squirrel hole. Just saying. But a good kind of trouble. And Mike, if you're still listening, I think you know what I'm talking about. Oh, sometimes we can decide we're going to try something new and we find out, ooh, very, very much can pull you in. So in case you are wondering, I wish I had more of these bins right now, and I do, but I'm already using them for stuff. But what I have done is I made out a little list kind of, of the color categories that I wanted to sort these into. So I have white, cream, and beige that I'm putting together, tan and brown that I'm putting together, black and gray, red and pink, blue and purple, greens, yellow, gold, and orange. This one, okay, that was the blue and purple. Okay. This one is for Americana fabrics because I use them in a different way, or, that type of thing, patriotic Americana. And then this is for novelty prints. Right here in front of me, this stack is orphan blocks, and they are going in a separate area. Debbie says, I know, I know. And Mike says, ha, ha, ha. Little do the rest of them know. Yeah, they may think they know, but do they really know? Oh, but yeah, I think Debbie has a really good idea, and some of the rest of you do also, which you may notice there is something turned around behind me, because I noticed right away that something up there was showing that I don't want to be seen yet. So we had to turn that around. You will get to see that at a later date and time. Not ready right now. I have a lot of these also, and that is what I've been setting over to the side because I I don't want to leave them together like this while I'm sorting, especially with what I have in mind and why I'm sorting the way that I am right now. So these are getting laid here because there's so many of them. I'm going to take the time to cut those apart, take those apart later, and then put them in the color bin. But I do have a question for you that you can answer, just because I'm curious, Mike. Um, how far are you down the line of the steps? I think you'll know what I'm asking. Which these two are actually Americana, so I am going to go ahead and put those in that bin. I must have missed something that Debbie said. Being close to 30. Oh, 30 quilts. Awesome. That is totally awesome. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That one's gonna go. It's not quite wide enough. Not quite wide enough. Not gonna play with an inch and a quarter. So those are going. This one is big enough. But yeah, I found a newfound love, and a lot of these scraps that are sitting in here that I can't even see are going to be able, not far, okay. Let's just say I may have filled out the form at the end already, Mike. Oh, but yeah, these scraps are going to come in very, very, very handy. You may have a hard time for a while finding me not doing the newfound love that I have come across. But that happens. It's like, what does Mike say? Good afternoon, Mona. It's great to see you. And Letitia also, welcome. I hope I haven't missed anyone else. If I have, I'm very sorry. Don't intend to. Oh my. Yeah, okay, LOL. In car waiting on mom. She's getting her eye shots. Ooh, 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 ooh. Does not. I know. I mean, I know my dad went through all that. It's like he did okay, but I just can't imagine. Ooh, that's some pretty interesting fabric right there. But yeah, so it's, how many of you, okay, have a bin that is, I mean, the majority is a lot of this size scraps in it. And where do you keep it? You get a pretty good eye after a while, and you can tell whether it's an inch and a half or not. What I really love is when I come to perfectly nice little leftover squares like this. And it's always fun too. I'm sure many of you notice when you're going through your scraps that as you're dealing with them and handling them and everything, you're okay. That is a prime example right here. You kind of reminisce of, okay, what were those scraps from? Which this was just from the last quarter's quilt along. I'm trying to think, jelly charm quilt that we did. That was from the piano key border left over. And that would work really well in doing postcards or something. So that's going over there with that section. Of course, this way too small. That's getting thrown. Come across a lot of triangular pieces that I will throw in. And if it is a big enough, triangle, and that one, because it's got selvage on it, once I get that pressed out and look at it, it's not really, so I'm going to throw that one. But if it's large enough, it can make quite the accent statement in something. So I will keep those because they can be used and come in handy. But this will give me an awesome idea too on the amount I have of what colors. Because there are a lot of times when you are doing something scrappy or something by hand, you may decide that you want to do it by the theme of a colorway. And all you have to do, if you have these sorted out, is you can kind of look and tell real quickly whether you have enough for what you may have in mind. So the moral of the story is you should not have waited so long to tackle and to sort better these scraps instead of throwing them all in one bin. Katie says, so many scraps, but so little organization. Tote bags full, yes. You come across and go, what's in this bag? And you find out it's all scraps that you just didn't want to deal with at the time. Mona says, I've been trying to make blocks or something after project is done. I don't always, though. Yeah, that's what, I mean, my intention was, to as I'm making other projects, to make crumb blocks out of the scraps for the leaders and enders while I'm, working on another project. Well, that didn't get done either. And now see, my mind is working as I'm going through some of these. This piece right here, I am going to leave exactly like it is. And I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to have a special little thing that I keep those in, because that will come in very, very handy for some of the handwork that I'm going to be doing. And some of these I can just get rid of real quick. Yeah, it's like, no, what is that? And why did I even throw that in there? Pretty soon we're going to have a dog that's going to think he can get in this trash can down here, and he's going to be playing with fabric off to the side. We will hope not. Okay. Somebody, oh, look at that. Look at that little half square. This is a little teeny tiny half square triangle that was thrown in there. And we know where that came from. That also came from long time gone. And I don't know, but that's getting put up with that other one that I just saved. Oh, look at this. I just found more. Oh, that could be quite interesting. It's like when I found that bin the other day with all the fabrics in it, and it's going through a scrap bin, and it's like, ooh, finding gifts and surprises all over again. Oops, postcard pile, wrong pile. Okay, got to remember which stack is for what. But some of these pieces can be rather large that are in here, and that's a good thing too. Which so it fits in there temporarily. I just fold it over and add it to it. And Joe says, clear zip envelopes from Dollar Tree. Separate them by color or pattern. Save space, not to lose track of them. That does sound like a great option there. Joe, what do you keep the plastic bags in, though? The zipper bags. They have to go someplace. So where do you keep them? And Vicky is here. She says she's home. Yay! Congratulations. I'm sure that feels awesome, Vicky. Glad to hear that you are home. Wonderful news. Um, yeah, I did ask how you. Oh, I don't think those are. Yeah, those are under. One on the floor. We'll get it later. Or someone else will, but yeah, sometimes scraps just get thrown in here because you aren't thinking at the time. And I used to keep it right underneath my desk. So it was easy when I was doing stuff just to think, oh, that might be big enough. And yeah, some of these definitely are not. But and there are some, like I said, scraps, if it is all from a certain collection that I was using at a time, like I think I can reach real quickly. I'm going to grab this little tied up part that's over here. These are all leftover narrower strips from when I did Long Time Gone. And so those are all bundled, tied together with one of the strips. And those are all kept together because, yeah, I may want to do something special with those at some point in time. So that kind of stuff I will keep together rather than sorting those by color. And we dropped a piece of fabric on the floor as I was doing that, but that is great. That'll go in the red. But yeah, it's like been at this for a while, and wow, this is going to take a while to get through this bin of scraps, but it's going to be well worth it in the end when I have these all sorted, and it will make it so much easier when I am looking and pulling things for a project. And my intention is that all of these are going to be used in handwork or postcards, or the orphan blocks will be made into a scrappy quilt for what I use those for when I make the quilts for those for charity, they go to the homeless. just put them together, make them come together into a nice size quilt, and then those are donated to the homeless, which the way that I get those distributed to them is I actually take them to the police department. They know where the homeless are in the area and where they stay, and they see to it that those are given to the homeless for me. They've been doing that for quite a while. Hello, Melissa. It is great to see you. She says that she uses the envelope method sometimes too. Love it when there's a ton of different pieces and blocks. Yes. Now you're talking about when you're actually doing a project, keeping them separated that way. Is that what you are referring to, Melissa? I think. I think that's what you may be saying. Hello, Debbie. She is joining us also. She says she lost track of time. Hey, I lose track of what day it is, let alone what time it is. But clear is so much easier. Press before putting them in the envelopes helps so they are ready to use. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I do not like, that's why it was that fabric that I found. It was not in a clear bin. I like clear bins so I can see what is in them. And it was not, that's why that was that would not have been up there that long had I been able to glance up and see what was in it. And so I totally agree with you. And Susan is here with Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan. Welcome. Which tomorrow is Thursday already. It's like, it was just, it seems like it was just Monday. I don't know where, well, I do know where Tuesday went. I had too good a time. It just flew by. That's where Tuesday went, even though did accomplish a lot. It was like, whoa, what happened to Tuesday? And Thursday will be fun. Also, that is always when we have our membership Zoom stitch day. So I'm sure I will, whoopsie, knock some off the back there. Nice, long, good strip there. Ooh, love that color. Love the tealy turquoise in that with the pop of red. Awesome. Awesome piece there. Yep. Making sure I'm putting it in the right. Okay, we will pull these gently out. Excuse me. I guess I better take a drink here. Okay, yes, exactly, says Melissa. Oh, I love that one too. Oh, these are all from Long Time Gone, the Jen Kingwell quilt that I did. Getting ready to do another Jen Kingwell quilt, totally by hand this time. We see a theme going on in my love of stitching. It seems to be going back to my first love of doing everything by hand. And that's okay. Everyone has their different methods that brings them their their joy and love. And I think that should have gone. Oh, I think that should go in the green instead there. Yes, that is more of a green when it comes to value wise. And this piece, because it needs to be it's odd, needs to be trimmed, it's going over there in that stack of ones that need some trimming or cutting or removing done to them. I will tackle that later off camera. Mona wants to know if Susan was busy sorting, and she says, no, I was on the phone making an appointment for Moxie May. Okay. Whip's appointment is made. Whip's appointment for the fun thing that little male doggies get done is June 10th. So a couple weeks after June 10th, we will be able to start using the doggy doors and some more training, which this is part of an orphan block also that I went ahead and pressed before sticking into that pile to go with the others. But and I'm not exactly sure when, because I have to get with someone for some details and stuff, but very soon we'll be sharing with you some awesomeness of a new and exciting project that I think will be a never ending project in my life. I will go from one to another, to another, to another. But yes, that will be coming up very soon to share with all of you. And it may be at a different time than any of my regularly scheduled lives. You like that? I'm holding this one up, deciding what color it is. We're going to put that in that one. But fun times lie ahead. Who is JoJo, Mona? Oh, I got it. Vintage Style by Joe. I don't know her by JoJo. So I was just wondering, okay. Some of the names don't pop up, and that I wasn't familiar with that one. We have musical notes on this, and what I like see when doing slow stitching projects is a reason you will find a lot of salvages that I leave on fabric, because I love the words sometimes to be used on my slow stitch projects. So that one is going to be set off to the side also for things to do special with, instead of going in the appropriate color bin that I would have been putting it in right now. Which remember in the beginning, if you weren't here in the beginning, I am only doing a pre-sort right now. This is not the way that I am going to be storing these. So, and I am in the process of moving things around and doing a I'm always reorganizing in the Stitching Cottage, but doing a major one right now. So I'm not exactly sure at this moment in time how I will be permanently storing those. And Helen Finaldi, gotta run and need help, a friend on Borders. See you all again. Bye. It was great to meet you and see you. I'm sorry that I didn't see you sooner in the chat. Welcome, Helen. Thank you for viewing and watching. Jean wants to put the long arm to bed. You know, I never even thought of it that way, Mike. But as many quilts as I still have left to quilt, it'll be a long time before the long arm is put to bed. And I still have several projects that are still traditional quilting. So no worries on that. But I am hoping to move the long arm. So that I need to this afternoon go and take some measurements, and then I will know. for sure whether I will be moving the long arm or not. But keep your fingers crossed, everyone, because I really do want to move it. It would be wonderful to be able to have more room in here and have that in a different location. So, and this is what is one of the novelty prints, and I am leaving that like that and putting in the bin for the novelty prints. That is some bright green, let me tell you. Woo. That would be good in a dinosaur quilt, Danielle. And there we got some bandana fabric going on there. That was from one of the ones that were in February on the charity quilt marathon. I recognize those. Like decide whether I want to keep that or not. And we forgot to press this one while we had it out laying there. Mike, are you drooling at all yet? As you see some of these being prepared and put up, our thoughts going through your mind and ideas. And ooh, totally different way of looking at fabrics right now. And Andrea is here. Thank you, Helen. She says, Jean, when the gnome pattern is ready to test, as you requested, you will be one of the ones select. Thank you, Andrea. That is awesome. I am really looking forward to that. Thank you. Great to know. I will make sure that I leave room in my schedule for that. Thank you. Always good to know those things in advance. Mike says, yes, he is drooling. I was going to say, if it was me watching somebody do this right now, I would definitely be drooling. It's like, oh, I know what I can do with that. I don't know why my throat has got such a tickle in it right now. I'm sorry that I keep. It's just one of those coughs that won't go away. And I think I have a cough drop, but it is in the drawer on the other side of the desk. And see Danielle. Andrea says, hey, Danielle, you will be one too. No fears, Danielle. There we go. Hope that helps. Okay. I can tell that was cut when cutting tumbler blocks. You can tell from the shape of that, that's a leftover end from cutting tumbler blocks. And I'm just going to leave it in that shape. I put it over there. Oh. Is when I come across one like that, it's a decision. Do I want to cut that off or do I just want to leave it in there and put it in the one that the majority of the color is? I think that's what I'm going to do for now because I know how it'll be used. Sometimes just even the simplest things sometimes take a little extra thought. But yeah, it's like I haven't even made a dent. It's not falling over, falling out the top anymore, but it's like I have not even made a dent in this bin yet. And that part gets thrown away. That part gets thrown away. This part gets kept. Yes. Okay. Somebody by the name of Christine may have been a bit of an enabler yesterday. Right up at the very end. We were doing so well. Oh, and somebody had to go check something out and then ended up making a purchase. Do we know who that someone is? You missed my comment about the music note fabric. I know where you used it. You do? Where did I use it, Debbie? If anybody knows, you would know that. Maybe. I would like to know where I used it. And Christine says, always glad to help. Well, hello, Sheila. Welcome. Great to see you. Yes, I did miss your comment, which, by the way, just a reminder, if there is something that you are asking me or really want me to see, if you put, tag me with the at before kept in stitches, it will highlight that and then I will see that easier in the chat. And chances are I will not miss it then. But your sister's pillow that I made for you. I don't even remember that, Debbie. I do not remember that at all. I can't, I don't even remember what the pillow would have been. I believe you, but I do not remember making a pillow. That had to be a while ago. Oh, here's some more of those teeny tiny little half square triangles. They are so cute. So cute. Well, at least we have a little bigger half square triangle there. Well, it goes up in the postcard pile. And then we end up with these little, yeah, like, why did they even get in there? You know, one thing, I do not have a lot of black and gray. That is a definite. These are from a quilt. I'm trying to think what year that would have been made. Probably still in the 1990s, but it was a Kansas Troubles bound to the prairie um, fabric. It was in a quilt that I made as a sample when I was working at Fabric Shack at the quilt shop. So I say it's always fun to remember on some of them where they actually came from also, what you made with them. Black and gray. I have tons of. Hmm. Yeah, no, I don't. And it seems like always when I'm needing a black or gray, and I glance up where they always are on my shelves when I talk about them or not, it's never the right black or gray. It's like, no, this, black or gray would seem like it'd be okay, black's black and gray's gray, but no, they have their values and tones and shades too. And it's just like, no, just doesn't work with what I had in mind. So now when I do go someplace or I'm shopping and I'm looking at fabric, I do have a tendency to look at the blacks and grays because I know that is always a problem when I need some. I never have the right black and gray. But I think a couple of us were talking about not purchasing fabric for a while. My purchase yesterday was not fabric, just saying. Many hues to a black. Yes, there is. And of course, I like a good, when it comes to wool, which I'm a lover of wool applique and stuff too. I love the Amish black when it comes to that. A true black. And here we have another long, one of those never ending strips. I'm sure that was trimmed after a quilt had been quilted on the long arm. That's part that was trimmed off. This I'm gonna press. I'm going to keep that because that'll work into the postcard ones. Throw that. Are we having fun yet? The embroidery, we ain't sisters, not even kin, but God knows we be bestest of friends. Okay, I got you. I remember the embroidery. I guess I don't remember the pillow. But it's coming back to me now. Thank you, Debbie. It's like Debbie is my friend that doesn't live, right around the corner, but she isn't right now. We haven't been able to get together, but she is the one that comes quite often to the Stitching Cottage in person, for those of you that are not aware of that. I'm hoping this is 1.5 inches but it's not, so it's getting thrown. That was a good color. Oh, too bad. Maybe we'll find more of it in a bigger piece down there someplace. Chances are, if there's a small piece, there may be a larger piece farther down. And this is actually from the bed skirt that's on my bed right now. Sew stitch quilt. I rarely ever use black. I used it in my granddaughter's quilt, but I tend to stick to bright colors and white. All right. Years ago, I made quilts with cream in them, and now I rarely use cream. I guess we go through different stages of color. Yes, we do. And I'm just the opposite. I rarely use white. I will use, the beige or cream or tan tones instead. Yes, we go through totally different stages. That is for sure. Our likes change. We see something that intrigues us and we go, oh, I want to give that a try. We go down a whole different style for a while. But for some reason, we always revert back to our first love. At least I do. And that is why so much hand stitching comes into play. Which when I opened my big cabinet there that has some stuff in it when I was looking to see if I had more of these bins that weren't being used in it, I did see something that was requested as a demonstration that I will also be doing. And it is on the actual hand stitching of hexagons instead of um, the papers and EPP, and which is the most common way that everyone does their hexagons. I do mine totally hand pieced, as back when you didn't have sewing machines and you hand pieced your quilts. That is how I do mine. And I was asked to show how I do that. So that will be in an upcoming, it may be a recorded, I'm not sure, but it will be in an upcoming tutorial. Not sure what you're thanking me for. Oh, not sure what you're thanking me for. See, this one I know that I kept because it says More Fat Ace and Friends by Marsha McCloskey for In the Beginning Fabrics. I love when that's left on on the selvage. And you never know what part of that I may use in a slow stitch project. This is getting put in the stack that's going to be trimmed later. And here, I know this is from, yeah, the good old vintage Valentine Irish chain quilt that I did. That's funny that I kept those because they're still ones that could be fussy cut and used on something. And that could probably end up being some, see, there's another, but they cute, just like the little vintage Valentines that you used to get. They were all fussy cut when I was doing that quilt. It's one of the ones that is not quilted yet. More of them. Cute little boy. What's it say? To my Valentine. So did a slow stitch project with some of them. Interesting. And Danielle says, okay, I'm back. Work calls always in my way. Yes. And so stitch quilt. Oh, is that Marty? My first love is hand stitching, handwork. My great grandmother taught me that way. I love handwork. I'm forgetting is so stitch quilt is am I correct that your name is actually Marty? I'm thinking that it is, but I may be incorrect. I may be remembering wrong. Loved giving those Valentines. Brings back memories of elementary school from long, long ago. Yes, when we used to make our boxes and brought the Valentines and put in everyone's decorated Valentine box. Good old days. I think some still do that. But Judy Rothermill, Village Calicos from Civil War era reproduction prints. Reading the salvages that are left on some of these. These are from what is it? Connecting Threads. Those are Connecting Threads fabrics right there. They were in I think it was a schoolhouse type quilt that I made for my niece who was a school teacher. But and Joe says that would be a cool tutorial. Love hand stitching. Awesome. Great to know that there are lots of you here that do also appreciate and enjoy the hand stitching as well, because you will notice I do a lot of it on my channel. Little bit of everything. That is why my name, which was chosen way before I ever became a YouTube content creator. It was going to be the name for a quilt shop, and that is where the name came from. But it wasn't only going to be quilting; it was going to encompass the other needle arts as well, because I love all needle arts. And that is why it is kept in stitches, because the stitches part refers to all type of stitching. Yes, it's Marty. Okay, I thought that's what it was. But I just wanted to be sure. Wanted to be sure. Still fairly new and getting to know you. So sometimes my mind doesn't always remember correctly. But and Debbie says that she is putting off the house chores, so better get at it. Have a terrific evening, though. Thank you. Thank you for joining in and commenting in the chat, Debbie. Always great to see. See, I like to fussy cut the flowers out of these and do like broidery purse on slow stitch projects and stuff. That is why that is definitely kept and not done. Oh, the water came out the end of that. That's hot. I haven't had that happen. That's why pieces like that are kept. And that is going to be put off to the side too, because I will put that. I have a couple things that I keep, fabrics that I use, especially for my slow stitch projects. So that is kind of how, you sort and everything. You know how you use your fabrics, so you know how you want to sort them and how you want to store them according to what you do in your realm of crafting and stitching. Everybody uses them differently, so we may not want to store them the same way. And I'm sure I will be coming up with another type of storage system for ones that I know that are definitely going to be used for the new style of hand stitching that I'm going to be doing. Okay, haven't missed anything. Have to look and see the time. We are going on the 1 hour mark. And like I said, I have not made a dent. I could probably sit here all night and not get to the bottom of this bin, but it has been enjoyable having you with me. And you got to see a little, it's kind of like seeing a little trunk show of some of the fabrics that have been used in the past in some of the quilts that I have done. There's more of that's not bound to the prairie. That was done recently. I forget, but that's a beautiful one that I use in the Americana quilts that I do. Usually for a quilt for veterans. That is going to get put with those. So if anyone has any last minute questions or any comments or any suggestions or anything they would like to see in the upcoming future, now would be the time to let me know, as we are going to be wrapping this up and saying goodbye. But it has been, as I said, always great to share time in the Stitching Cottage with all of you. These are from Bound to the Prairie. Most definitely. Nice, nice. Look at these nice, even prepared squares. and rectangles. Mike, awesome to come across so many of these. It's like, just look at, there's one, two, three, just in that little stack there. Irene Burr-Quinn. I probably said that wrong, but welcome. You're coming in right on the tail end. We're just getting ready to wrap it up. And you are so welcome, so brother Mike. And Andrea says she throws everything in a tub until I get ready to do a string quilt or something needing scraps. Then I sort and iron as I need them. I don't have one of those round to it, so I do a lot of round to it. You remember that, huh, Andrea? I'm going to have to find my round to it. Oh, but that's awesome. And Melissa says, thanks for the great chat. I love hearing you talk about quilting while I do chores. My kitchen is mopped and sparkling. Awesome. Now, if only you'd come and do mine while I can tell you lots of stories about quilting. Even throw in a little beverage and a snack for you there, Melissa. Or did it? I'm sorry. Yes, Melissa. Thought I said the wrong name there for a minute, but okay, I will stop and I will bid you all adieu. And thank you very much for joining me once again. Vicky says, sorry, I have just been watching, Jean. That's quite all right. No problem whatsoever. Thank you for another great chat. You are very welcome. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you on Friday morning. And Andrea, I will be working on the rag quilt on Friday morning, so you can see how that is done. So that is the plan, and I hope to stick to it. And so take care, everyone. I will see you again soon, as I said, and remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.